Hi, it's Pavel with a C++ homework from chapter 5 of the book. Look at what it is called again. Starting out with C++ from control structures through objects. It doesn't matter if you have the book or not, you'll be able to follow this assignment easily anyway. So this is just an exercise. And we are supposed to write a program that uses nested loops. Ooh, nested loops. Are you scared yet? To collect data and calculate the average rainfall over a period of years. The user will enter the number of years we'll calculate from, and then we will iterate once for each year and then 12 times for each month. And with each iteration, we will ask the user for the inches of rainfall for that particular month. So in other words, we will ask him 12 times to enter. So it's going to be a lot of input. But after everything, after all the iterations, we will display the number of months, the total inches of rainfall, and the average rainfall per month for the entire period. We're supposed to do a little input validations, such as do not accept a number less than 1 for the number of years, and do not accept negative numbers for the monthly rainfall. But it can be 0, it just cannot be negative. Alright, so let's start with our integer. Always with an integer. Number of years. That's the first thing that the user will enter, has to enter. Let's initialize it to 0. And we can do the integer month. You know what? Nope, let's do it as a constant. Since this is 12, each year has 12 months, it can be a constant. So it's the integer month, and it equals 12. There. Now we will need to collect the rainfall for each month. So float, because it's going to be most likely decimal points. So rainfall equals 0.0, and the average float average, that's it, average rainfall, and that too will be a float. And I think that might be all. All right, so let's what do we ask first? Well, the number of years. C out, and please be so kind and enter number of years, and end of line, and we will store it in our, you guessed it, number of years variable, our first integer. All right, so now we have to evaluate the user input, make sure that it is not less than 1. Okay, so what do? We'll go to a while loop. So while number years is less than 1, and we will ask for the user to re-enter the value. So cout number of years must be at least 1. Please re-enter. And over here we will try again, store it in a number of years. I do this almost in every program as basic input validations. If you watched my previous videos, you already know what this does. Basically, user enters a number, and if the number is less than 1, we'll enter the loop. He's informed that to re-enter the value, and he does. If the value is still wrong, let's say he enters a negative number again, it goes to while, it checks the condition, it is true, it's still less than 1, so it hits the body of the loop again, displays the message, and asks for the input again. And it will continue to loop until user enters a value that makes this false. In other words, the user enters value that is greater than 1. Now, if the user enters correct value right away, the first time we ask him over here, then this is false right from the start. body of loop never executes and the program continues. All right, so we have that, and now let's do our awesome nested loop. So 12 times for each month and once for each. I mean 12 times for a month, obviously within a year, and once for each year. So 4 integer equals 1, I equals 1, I mean, and that's because number of years must be, you know, we don't start from 0, we start from the year 1. And number of years that the user entered will be, oh, I'm doing it all wrong now. I talk too much and then I may have problem to type it right. So it's less than or equal to number of years, and a plus plus, I mean I plus plus, of course. So this is for the years. This is the loop for the years. All right, and within that loop, we'll loop through the months for each year. So for integer, and I call this month, just so it's easy to read. Equals 1. Again, we start from 1. We don't have month 0, and month is less or equal to our constant, which is 12. Of course, each year has 12 months, and month plus plus. You know what? I'll do this like this. It's this is case sensitive. C++ is case sensitive, so these are two different variables. But I'll make this plural just so it's clear which one's which. All right. So year 1, month 1. Then it's going to be year 1 still, month 2, because this loop has to finish first. The second iteration of the outer loop doesn't start until the inner loop is complete. So we loop through the months first. And what do? We ask the user for the rainfall. So cout for each month. So please enter the rainfall for, and I will actually enter which month it is, and the month for month, and I will spell it out, month. All right, so what does this do, you may wonder? And oops, semicolon. All right, so what does this do? It's it will simply output, please enter the rainfall for number 1 month. Then please enter the rainfall for number 2 month, and so forth. We could also do it, to display January, February. If you assign, let's say, uh, like little enumerations, but that's a little further down the line for these exercises. So let's just do it this way for now. Okay, so we will, of course, collect the input in a variable rainfall. And just like we did it for the number of years, we will also do a while loop to make sure that the rainfall is not negative. That's one of the input validations we're supposed to do. So while rainfall is less than 0, that would make it negative, of course. Less than 0, like that. And we will tell the user that he messed up. The rainfall must be, or cannot be negative number. Please re-enter. And user will re-enter, and we'll store it in our rainfall. Okay, so just like over here, we'll check if it's less than 0. If it is, then we know it's a wrong input. We'll hit the while loop, the body of while loop, ask for the new input. If that is still incorrect, it goes again to the body of while loop and so forth. If it's correct, it evaluates these as false, so the body is skipped and it moves on to another line of code. And what is the number under the line of code? Well, we're supposed to display the number of months, the total inches of rainfall. The total inches of rainfall, we need to actually collect that. So how about we do total rainfall, I guess. Float total rainfall, and it will be a float. And over here, within the for loop, the inner for loop, but after the input check, we will simply add the rainfall to our total rainfall. So it's plus equals rainfall. So with each month, rainfall is added to a total rainfall. All right. Okay, so we have that. And now, let me move this down so you can scroll up like that. Okay, so we have the loop done. Like I said, it goes through all 12 months. Then it goes to another year. It goes through all 12 months. Another year. All 12 months of that year. And so forth until all the years are done. And when that happens, we exit the for loop and get the output out. See out. And here we can simply output. I'll start on a new line. Number of years. Actually, maybe a quotation mark will help. So number of years. That's what we're supposed to output, right? A number of years. The program should display the number of months, the total inches. So months, not years. So the number of months. And what is the number of months? Well, it's the number of years times our constant, or times 12, if you will. You don't have to use constant, but then you just have 12. In this case, it would be obvious what it means, but in many cases, it's so-called like a magic number. It just kind of appears there, and no one knows what it means. So using constants like this is a preferred method, or so I heard. All right, so we have the number of years calculated. I mean, number of months. Sorry, and now let's output the total rainfall. So see out, and I'll start on new line. You could add a new line over here at the end. In fact, let's just do that. So we don't have to do these slashes all over. So total rainfall. And what is the total rainfall? Well, how about total rainfall? And well, all right, let me see what we're supposed to actually. The total inches of rainfall, yeah. So this is the total rainfall. But I'm thinking, um, yeah, let's just do this for now. Let's see how it will come out. And now the average rainfall, average rainfall, and you know what? Nah, let's do this. Over here, I will use a little formatting, since otherwise we'll get a lot of decimal places with these calculations. So set precision just to 2 decimal points. It's gonna be fixed. That's the total rainfall. And over here, so the total rainfall, and we can also specify that it is in fact inches. All right, and average rainfall, I'll do the same thing. So it's going to be set precision, but outside of the quotation marks. Set precision. Okay, how about now? There you go. Still two decimal places. It's gonna be fixed. And the average rainfall is the obviously the total rainfall. Total rainfall divided by the total number of months, which is the number of years times months. So number years times month. Okay, so this will give us the average, and it's going to be inches and end of line. So again, I'm just doing the calculation directly on the output line because it's very simple calculation. It's the total rainfall divided by total months, and total month equals the number of years we entered times the 12, which is the number of months every year. Okay, so let's build. But before we do, since I'm using the formatting like this, let's not forget include input output manipulation suck like this. So all right, let's try to build it. I'm gonna pause it because my computer is very slow when it builds. Last time it took forever, so when it builds, I'll be right back. Well, I'm back because it didn't build. We got an error. Error is we got integer equals 1. Well, how about, but what integer equals 1? I equals 1. All right. So let's build now, but again, I'm just gonna pause it. Okay, it builds, and we can do some inputs. So please enter number of years. Let's start low. I'll just enter 2 years. So now we have please enter rainfall for number for first month or for month 1. So I'll just do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12.75. Just so we have some decimal number. Now it will ask for the second year. So this was the inner loop. All this, please enter the rainfall for months 1 through 12. That's this 4. This uh, this now enters the outer loop. So I'll enter in other words, this is the next year, first month of the next year, and I will enter, I don't know, I will enter 1.1, 0.1, 2.2, 3.3, 4.4, 5.5, 6.6, and 8, and 9, and 10.1, and I'll stretch this so you can see that better and move it over here. 11 point, I don't know, 11, 12.789, something. All right, and here's our output. So number of months equals 24, which it is, 2 years. Total rainfall. All right, you know what? If you have a minute, let's do the calculation on our calculator just to make sure. So 1 point plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 7, 8 and 9 and 10 and 11 and 12.75 and plus 1.1 plus 2.2 plus 3.3. Just a minute, almost there. I just want to make sure it's working fine. Okay, so we got 162.25. That's why I have it set precision to 2, so it rounds up to 162.25, just like I expected it to and wanted it to. And what's the average rainfall? So that's the total rainfall, which is 162.25 divided by total number of months, which is 24, and it's 6.76. So we got a working program. Hope it helped you, and I'll see you next time. Take care.